Hey there, Tiger Shark here with Okano. This week I played a few games from a challenge called Make It Super Hot. I know nothing about it, I just stumbled on them by mistake. I assumed it was just a challenge to make a game similar to Super Hot. Anyway, the first one I played is called SuperHook. I really wanted to like this one, I'm a little conflicted on how I feel about it. It has a really interesting twist in that the only way for you to move is to use a grappling hook on specific surfaces. This makes it distinct from the original Super Hot, but it also is an incredibly frustrating movement system. Especially because it's my literal least favorite feature of any game ever. There's a grappling hook, but it only works on certain surfaces. Like, I actually get pissed off when devs do this. I'd rather the grappling hook just not even be in the game if I can't use it wherever I want. Anyway, I didn't finish a couple of the levels because the movement system just made them really hard. All in all, I think the game was okay, but it has flaws. One thing it's missing that the original had was the replay of your gameplay at full speed. Granted, the replay in Super Hot was annoying as heck because of the constant flashing of the logo all over the screen. Seriously, the guy who decided that was a good idea should be fired. So I want to recommend this one because of the unique design, but I also don't because of the unique design. Ultimately, it's up to you if you want to try it. Link will be in the description. The second game is called ÜberHot. This one is actually really good. It's a top-down shooter. Functionally the same as Super Hot, time only moves when you move. But this one adds a dodge roll, which at first I thought was unnecessary and kind of silly, but I ended up relying on it a lot to get through the tougher spots. There's an interesting effect with the animation where the walls kind of bulge out towards you as you walk. I kind of like it, but it's definitely a little odd. The sound effects are pretty funny. However, as I've said a lot, the music is quite repetitive. It was a short game, but really could have used one or two more tracks just to break it up a bit, though I do think the music nailed the theme of the game. ÜberHot does have a story. The Nigerian prince has been kidnapped and you have to rescue him for a reward of $1 million. I assume this is a silly take on the Nigerian prince email scams. Anyway, I do recommend this one, link will be in the description. The third game is called UnderHot. I couldn't get it to run, so we will move on. Admittedly, I didn't try very hard, but I'm not really sure what I could have done, so I'll leave the link anyway on the off chance you want to try it and see if you can run it. The fourth game is called ColdSuperHot. This one is a pre-release multiplayer-only game. 7 years old though, so probably won't ever get a full release. I got my wife to play with me for the footage, thank you wifey. It's a little awkward playing together on the same keyboard, but we made it work. First off, I had fun, I thought it was a cool concept. A dodge rolling tank is honestly one of the funniest things I can imagine. The projectile speed is linked to the opponent, so when I was moving my wife's bullets would move quickly, but when I sat still they would slow down dramatically. And my own bullets were linked to her movement. The bullets bounce off walls, so you can have a lot of bullets flying around at once, which really adds to the challenge. I think it would be cooler if your own bullets could hurt you as well, adding another layer of difficulty, or at least make it an option in the settings. Which is maybe a good segue to my critiques. I can't fault the game since it was uncompleted and still a pre-release, but there's no menu and no settings. Actually, my next critique is no longer relevant, but I'll leave it in so I can demonstrate my slowness again. I was going to complain that there was no restart option upon completing a match, and I had to quit and restart the whole game every time. But as I was writing this, I decided to double check the instructions in case I missed it. Anyway, turns out there's multiple maps as well because when you press R to restart, it drops you in a new map. Read the instruction, folks, it can save you embarrassment. The lack of sound effects and music is a tad off-putting, but again, it's incomplete. I will be adding in some music so it's not silent for you. In case you were curious, I played 5 rounds with my wife, and I won 3 and I lost 2. Before I sign off, I'll mention again that the dodge rolling tank is the absolute best part of this whole video. So anyway, that's all for this one, and as always, I hope you have a spectacular day. And remember, the instructions are important, even if you think you know what you're doing.